Let me tell you something simple. Most businesses don't work because most people build them to make money. The ones that do, they're built to make meaning. You don't start with a product. You start with a problem that matters. You don't ask what will sell. You ask what will shift something in the world. You don't obsess over how big you can grow. You obsess over how deeply you can serve. To build a business that works, you have to do 3 things. Build something people don't just want, but need. Make it insanely simple and insanely good. And never ever let go of the reason why you started. You see, the world doesn't need more noise. It needs signal. It doesn't need more features. It needs clarity. If your business disappears tomorrow, would anyone miss it? That's the test. If the answer is no, go back to the drawing board. If the answer is yes, go all in. The ones who make it aren't the ones with the best plans. They're the ones who care so much they refuse to quit. So forget about being big. Be real. Be obsessed. Follow. And let the rest follow. Because in the end, a business that works isn't just one that makes money. It's one that makes a mark. Thank you. Most people start a business by asking, what can I sell? That's the wrong question. The real question should be, what problem is so frustrating, so broken, or so overlooked that I have to fix it? Purpose is not some feel-good slogan on a wall. It's the reason your business deserves to exist. It's the engine behind your product, your team, your culture, everything. If your only goal is money, you'll cut corners. You'll chase trends. You'll compromise. But if you're solving something real, you'll have a foundation that can survive failure, doubt, and time. When a business starts with purpose, every decision becomes clearer. Clearer. You don't waste energy guessing what matters. You already know. Your purpose becomes the filter. It tells you which customers to focus on, which features to build, which voices to ignore. Without that filter, everything feels urgent. Everything feels tempting. But a business built on purpose has a compass. It doesn't get distracted by every shiny object or competitor's move. It's anchored, focused, and it knows where it's going. Purpose also gives people a reason to care. Not just customers, but your team, your partners, even your investors. No one wants to pour their energy into a company that's just trying to make a quick buck. They want to believe in something bigger than themselves, something meaningful. When your mission is real, when it touches a human nerve, people don't just buy your product, they join your cause. And that's when momentum kicks in. That's when word of mouth spreads, when loyalty grows, and when the business starts to matter. And make no mistake, profit still matters. But purpose is what drives profit, not the other way around. It pushes you to make better things, to serve better, to endure longer. Companies without purpose run on fumes. They sprint, then stall. But when you start with purpose, you're not just building a business, you're building belief. You're creating something that customers want to win. That's a whole different game. The obsession with scale is killing too many good ideas. Everyone wants to go big fast, to reach millions, to conquer markets, to raise rounds. But here's the truth. Scale without impact is just noise. It's empty growth. If you reach 10,000 people and none of them care deeply, you've built nothing. But if you reach 10 people and change their lives, you've got something real. Something with weight. You don't need mass adoption on day one. You need proof that you matter to someone deeply. Great businesses don't explode into the world overnight. They start quietly, intimately. They build trust one person at a time. They pay attention to the details most people skip. They listen closely. They iterate constantly. And they fight to get it right before they get it big. That early stage, when you're small enough to care about every single customer, is not a weakness. It's your superpower. It's when you can afford to be personal, obsessive, and meticulous. Use that time to make the product unforgettable. Too many founders think scale is the prize. But the real prize is loyalty. It's love. It's people using your product not because they have to, but because they can't imagine going back. That kind of emotional connection can't be manufactured by marketing or growth hacks. It's built through meaningful experiences. Through showing up consistently, through doing the unscalable things first, writing that extra email, solving that edge case bug, calling that frustrated customer. Those acts don't scale, but they spark the kind of impact that eventually does. True. When you focus on impact first, scale becomes a side effect, not the strategy. You earn the right to grow. You build a foundation strong enough to handle it. Otherwise, you'll grow too fast, spread too thin, and collapse under your own weight. Real growth is rooted in value. And value is born in the trenches when you're still small enough to feel every signal. So don't rush it. Make it matter first. Scale later. Complexity is seductive. It makes us feel clever. We think if something is complicated, it must be advanced. But in reality, complexity is just a mask. Don't ask. It hides confusion, weak decisions, and half-baked thinking. The hardest thing in the world is to make something simple. To strip away every unnecessary part until only the truth remains. Simplicity isn't minimalism for the sake of aesthetics. It's clarity, focus, and precision. Precision. When your product is simple, people don't have to think. They just feel it. They just get it. And that kind of understanding creates trust. Every detail matters. Every extra click, every confusing label, every second someone spends trying to figure out how something works, it all adds friction. It all adds friction. And friction kills momentum. The best products feel obvious. They feel like they've always existed. That's not an accident. That's the result of ruthless discipline. Of saying a no less times for every yes. Of building something not to impress other businesses or investors, but to serve the end user with zero noise. The most iconic products in the world don't just work. They feel right. And that feeling comes from simplicity. Simplicity also forces clarity in your own thinking. If you can't explain your product in one sentence, you don't understand it well enough yet. If your customer has to read a manual, you've already failed. A simple product reflects a simple mission. It reflects bold decisions and the courage to focus. Simplicity scales. Complexity breaks. Complexity breaks. And in a world overflowing with distractions, the businesses that cut through, the ones that truly resonate, are the ones that dare to be clear, bold, and simple. Most businesses think they're in the business of selling products or services. They're not. They're in the business of making people feel something. That's what drives decisions. That's what creates loyalty. Logic might convince someone to try your product, but emotion is what brings them back. Emotion is what makes them tell their friends. When people feel seen, understood, or inspired by what you've created, they don't just buy it, they identify with it. They make it a part of their life, their routine, their story. That's why features alone aren't enough. You can have the fastest, smartest, most technically advanced tool in the world, but if it doesn't speak to something real in your audience, it won't last. People don't remember specs. They remember how something made them feel. Did it make them feel powerful, understood, respected, safe, excited, cited? If your business can consistently deliver that emotional experience, you're not just building a customer base. You're building a tribe, a movement, a connection that no competitor can easily copy. The truth is, most people don't want more options. Most people don't want more options. They want something they can trust, something that feels like it was made for them. That's where emotional connection begins. Not with ads or slogans, but with empathy. Real empathy. Real empathy. Understanding who your customers are, what they're struggling with, what they dream about, and building with that in mind. This is where the magic happens. When someone feels like your business gets them, they don't just stay, they advocate. They evangelize. They defend you even when you make mistakes. You can't fake this. You can't trick people into connection with branding alone. It comes from how you design, how you communicate, how you treat people when no one's watching. It's in the tone of your emails, the flow of your website, the way you respond to a complaint. Every interaction is a chance to deepen the bond. And once someone feels emotionally invested in your business, they become more than a customer. They become a believer. Become a believer. And believers are the most powerful force in business. Ideas are everywhere. Execution is rare. What separates the businesses that last from the ones that fade is not brilliance. It's obsession, relentless passion. The kind that keeps you building when no one's watching. The kind that keeps you up at night, not because you're worried, but because you care. Passion is not hype. It's not loud. It's quiet, consistent, and unshakable. It shows up in the work, in the details, in the refusal to ship something average. People can feel it. And when your passion is real, it becomes contagious. Building something that works means pushing through boredom, burnout, rejection, and resistance. It means doing the hard things even when there's no applause. It's easy to be excited in the beginning, when everything is new. But what happens 6 months in, or 2 years in? That's when passion is tested. And that's where most people quit, not because the idea was bad, but because the effort got uncomfortable. But if the mission truly matters to you, you find a way to stay in the game. Not by forcing motivation, but by returning again and again to why you started. Passion also gives you endurance. Markets shift, customers change, products evolve, but your belief in what you're building is what gives you staying power. It's the fuel that keeps you experimenting, listening, and improving long after others have moved on. That's why relentless passion beats raw talent, money, or timing. Because when the hype dies down, and it always does, what's left is the work. And only those who care deeply enough will still be standing. So here's the truth. You don't need to be the loudest. You don't need to be the biggest. You just need to matter. Start with purpose. Focus on real impact. Make it simple. Make it human. Make it human. And never, ever let go of the fire that started it all. Because in the end, building a business that works isn't about fame, followers, or funding. It's about building something so true, so useful, so necessary, that the world is better with it than without it. With it than without it. And if you can do that, if you can stay clear, stay obsessed, and stay real, you won't just build a business that works. You'll build one that lasts. Thank you.